Hi everyone, welcome to Megan Sullivan Art. Have these beautiful Asian inspired, well these are Chinese vintage papers. So I'm just here to present to you what I've done so far with the recycled packaging challenge that Nat Williams put out to see what you can make with recycled packaging. It was to make 100 items of ephemera. And that didn't mean you had to go in and decorate them all. It just meant you had to create them, you know, as in punch them out, cut them out or whatever. So just here to show you what I've done. So I've decided to combine that challenge with my design team project for Lavenderblu, which is Fiona Coley, and it's Lavenderblu shop on Etsy and Lavenderblu on Facebook and around the place, with the design team project. So I chose to use her vintage Chinese papers, but I'll put the link to everything correctly down below. So these are some of the pages. Sorry, they're folded over, ready for journal making. So I printed them out, I don't know, 3 times, I think, just so I had plenty to work with. And so I've basically used these, once I've cut out my shapes, which you may have seen a photo of before on Facebook. I've then used these to collage the ephemera pieces with, or to cover them with, basically. And then I'll explain what I've done from there. I love that one. That one looks great. I've made a big tag using that flower pieces at the centre. So these aren't all the papers exclusively, because some of them I have used up the second copy, but I'll put the link to this kit down below so you can get them. And obviously they come in the format where you're able to actually resize them and everything. So I've just done them as like stretched them out to an A4 size. So that's the papers. So then what I did was I've come up with a whole range of different sized journal cards. So some are, you know, long, and so these are all have like a lined paper on the back. Some of them do, some of them have some other paper, some of them are plain. So these are ones that I haven't started embellishing or anything yet. So this particular paper is from a set from the Graphics Fairy membership site, which is called Japanese Ornaments. So there's I'll show you a bit of that. There's some coin envelopes and some papers. So you'll see that I've used some of that throughout. So these have, oh yeah, so there's another bit. There's just the plain back of the packaging. And I use mainly Nutri-Grain boxes to cut these out. Some beer packaging. I've just made some little pockets or tucks, so they'll be sewn onto the page. So I didn't really worry about the back of these necessarily, but I have on some because they might be like a floating thing. These are the edges or the ends of the Nutri-Grain boxes. So these I've used as tabs. I'm going to be using them as page tabs. So I have backed all of those with this Graphics Fairy paper. I've made a range of these little tags, and these are the ones I've done the most embellishing on to date. So this one hasn't got anything on it yet. And then I've got a range of giant tags. So some are smaller, some are skinnier. And then these are the biggest. These are the biggest tags, which are, yeah, quite big. And they're all either plain or the cut. So this is the packaging on the back, depending on what I used. So Nutri-Grain is brown. Oh no, is white, I think. Anyway, so there's a range of different backgrounds there. And then I've just got the strips. So these will be belly bands and different things. And so as yet, I haven't done anything with these ones. And they're just, I'm not going to worry about the backs of those because you won't see that on a page once they're stuck down. So I made 102 pieces of ephemera altogether. So let me just get the ones that so I'll show you the Graphics Fairy papers that I've used as well, because it is really gorgeous and a good addition. So these are the coin envelopes. You get a range of different words or phrases that come with it as well. So then you get washi tape, so you get the wide washi, and then there's a thinner version of this as well. And these are some of the papers. So these are the ones I've trimmed the white border off. So I've just used these, you know, fussy cut out some of these flowers, use the backgrounds. So this will become a journal. Then you get, so each of the pages designs comes in 2 different colorways. So you'll see that as we go through. I have used this lady, I've fussy cut around her to use her on a page. So there's another one of the Chinese ladies. Must have them upside down. This one's got some birds, so you'll see that I've used some of this one throughout some of the collage I've done. This background I love. So that's not exclusively all the pages, obviously, because as I said, I have chopped some of them up for collaging with. So that's on the Graphics Fairy premium membership site. So some of the other bits that I've been collecting to use for Asian journals, I have a complete atlas of Japan. So this, oh God, I would have picked up from a second-hand shop somewhere, but it is quite glossy, but you know, for the purposes of this, that'll do. So there's, you know, it goes into all the geology and the national parks and all those different kinds of different factual maps, not just, you know, locations. So I've used a bit of that so far. Then there was a place in Tasmania called Wafu Works who have these beautiful Japanese papers. So I'm not sure if they're actually still in business, but Wafu Works. And they are on the internet or Facebook. So whatever links I can find for them, if they're still in business, I'll put them down below. So they have these amazing Japanese paper packs. So these are all, I believe, mainly like accounting papers or something along those lines. So they're on really fibrous paper and they're really thin paper. So they make great collage fodder. So I've been using those. And I honestly don't know if I've collaged them up the right way. But I've had these for several years now. A couple of years. But yeah, I just love them. So I've used parts of these, or some of these pages I've started to use. And because they are so thin, they just look great collaged over something else, because you can see through them a fair bit. Yeah, so a whole range of different amazing, you know, scripts. This one's super thin. I've used this one a lot. Yeah, so I like tissue paper thin, really. How they wrote on it is amazing. And they're actually vintage / antique. I don't know the exact age of them, but they are not modern. That is for sure. So that's those gorgeous pieces that I've used some of. And then they have paper packs you can buy. So I bought a scrap pack, which has got a whole range of different assorted, you know, bits and bobs and offcuts and some metallic papers and all sorts of groovy stuff. This one here with the cranes is gorgeous. If I can get it out. See with the cranes on there? It's a very pale, dusty pink colour. That's beautiful. So I had a pack of that. So that was like paper scraps. So I've been using bits of that. And then they have these, I think these are the Chiagami papers, which are all metallic and like far out. So beautiful. So I haven't used much of these because these are one of those things that, you know, that we would hoard. So, but I think I've got 2 of each design. So, but you'll see these coming out in some of my Asian fusion journals that I've got several of planned. But so that was Wafu Works as well. So, yeah, so this is what my little scrap pile's looking like at the moment. So these are the little bits that I have been using and ripping up and everything. So I'll try and just use up the rest of these scraps that I've already started attacking, and just see how we go. So there we are. And so let me show you the results, what we have so far. So this is one of the smaller tags, and I've got just one layer of collage, and I just went around that with a gold marker. And then on the back, I've just put a piece at the top because I slipped with the gold marker, and then I've been going around the edges with the gold marker as well. And so what I'm going to do now that this piece is maybe complete, I might stamp on the back. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really got any specific Japanese themed stamps or anything, so I'm not sure what I'll do yet. But I'd like to there be some more metallic element on it somehow. Yeah, so that's one of the little tags. Here's another one that's got 2 layers. This is a piece of Fiona's paper with the Graphics Fairy in the background. And these are all Fiona's, the main covering papers. a bit of the graphics fairy on the back there. This one I didn't do anything to the front, but I have put a piece on the back. This has got some of that Japanese paper collaged and lined. This came from an address book, so that is a little bit glossy, but not major. This has got, so all of these will be sewn around once I've completed decorating. A bit of the collaged Japanese paper and a cutout from, this is a public domain image actually. I just searched cherry blossoms on Pixabay and printed out a few of those images. That's the graphics fairy on the back. So this is just like an over the page card thing. So I have got Fiona's in the background, and then I've got various Japanese papers on there. And again, just some scraps from those same papers on the inside. A bigger journal card. This paper here is so pretty. That's some of that Chiagami paper, and I've used it on the back of the journal card as well. A little one, so it's got some lined paper in the background with the Japanese woman cut out. This is from the public domain image, and we've just got a corner of Fiona's paper down there. So Fiona graphics fairy, and Fiona, or Lavenderblu. Bit of my own paper collection and some of the washi tape from the graphics fairy. Bit of Japanese. So this is the graphics fairy cutout with some of my own paper, and another pretty sure public domain image. Pretty sure on that one. One of the big tags. So this has got another public domain piece of bamboo printed paper with collaged Japanese background, coffee dyed paper with a part of the graphics fairy cut out there. This is the lady from the Japanese, one of the Japanese graphics fairy pages. Some of the paper and onto plain coffee dyed. Nothing on the front of this one, but I've just left it plain and I've collaged the back. So this is graphics fairy. This is my own paper from Waifu Works. This is a big flower one that I love, and it's got a Japanese collaged piece there and another Japanese lady on the back with coffee dyed paper. This one's got some of my paper from Waifu Works, a bit of the lined paper and a bit more of the same paper on the back. These big ones, this is the first piece of the map that I've used, and some paper and a bit of the Japanese collage there. And same, this is Waifu Works, all these three pieces. And I like the fact that you can just see underneath through that and then onto coffee dyed paper. So these are the pieces that I have started to embellish so far. So I don't need to embellish all of them now because I'm not making 50 Japanese journals or Asian themed journals, but that's just to show you what I have done so far. But what I will do when I've completed this lot, completely start to finish, I will come back and show you the fully finished results with any stamping or further inking or embellishing and all the sewing. All right, fantastic. Thanks guys. See you again.